A little girl was snatched up by a giant hand. When she woke up, she found herself in a giant's home. Luckily, this giant was a vegetarian, but that didn't mean the girl was safe. Soon a much bigger giant barged in. He seemed to have caught the little girl's scent and started rummaging through the smaller giant's house. The girl took advantage of the distraction and crawled inside a pumpkin. But the giant was so hungry he'd eat anything. He grabbed the pumpkin and was about to shove it in his mouth. That's when the small giant stepped in and stopped him. The girl was saved. It turned out the small giant was a dream maker. His daily job was to blow the dreams he created into people's bodies. That day he was spotted by a little girl from the orphanage, so the small giant brought her home. This day the small giant had to go out to catch dreams, but as soon as he stepped outside, he woke up a bunch of giants. The small giant was grabbed by the giants. The little girl fell off the small giant. She immediately hid in a nearby car. Suddenly it started raining. These giants were all afraid of water and scrambled for cover. The small giant opened his bag and took the little girl with him. They quickly arrived at the dream-catching spot. The small giant and little girl were excitedly busy, but what they didn't know was that the giant leader had found their blanket. They had caught the little girl's scent. The next day the giants burst right into the small giant's house. This time the small giant fought back to protect the girl. He grabbed a fire stick and started resisting. Eventually he drove the giants away. The little girl knew the giants would come back. That's when she looked at a portrait of the queen. She came up with a bold plan. After hearing the girl's idea, the small giant created a terrifying nightmare. He included scenes of giants eating children and brutal war scenes. Finally he put himself and the girl in the dream too. Also the queen would see everything and launch an attack on the giant race. The next day the queen was indeed startled awake. The little girl was standing at the window. She let the queen see what the small giant looked like. After the little girl's explanation, the queen believed what had happened in the dream. The queen ordered her men to take action immediately. The small giant also prepared nightmares for the giants. He wanted these man-eating giants to feel guilty. Just as all the giants were about to fall into nightmares, the giant leader wasn't caught by the nightmare. He grabbed the small giant and struck him. That's when the queen's helicopters arrived. Since most of the giants were trapped in nightmares, they quickly subdued all the giants. The small giant and little girl smiled victoriously. The giants were transported to a small island. What they feared most was water, so they could never escape the island again. The humans also gave them lots of pumpkins, and gave them pumpkin seeds too.